And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. We've got multiple We've got multiple sunspot groups rising here in the southeast. As many as 3 groups there. We've got a coronal hole high-speed stream on the way. A possible coronal mass ejection strike on the way around the same time. NOAA's expecting the coronal hole high-speed stream to arrive. And plenty more to cover, like hurricane tracks and so on, here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. So this wavelength here, this is ionized iron, 171 angstroms. It's the house favorite wavelength. That's yesterday plus today's imagery from SDO. And let's take a look at sunspots here on the orange intensity gram. Multiple sunspot groups growing here. These leading umbrae here actually moving away from the equator, which is interesting. And here's your colorized magnetogram for yesterday plus today. If you'd like to support the channel, please become a member of the Smash Team at smashamash.com/SmashTeam. Join at the gold or silver level if you'd like to send us a few bucks per month to support the content, increase the probability it will remain publicly visible and free for all to view. Thanks to gold and silver Smash Team members, the best value is the gold annual paid-up subscription as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the official kickoff, which was last October. October 2021 was the official kickoff of the Smash Team site. We replaced Patreon with a superior site. Support your own health by becoming a member of SureMed. Links below the video, as well as on our homepage at smashamash.com and on the Smash Team site. Did you know that we sent out tsunami warnings yesterday on the Smash Team site? Anyway, if you'd like to support your health with a SureMed membership, click the links. You can get all kinds of things like doctors by phone, counselors by phone, virtual veterinarians, discounts on dental, vision, retail pharmacy, vitamins, labs, and more, by becoming a member of the American Better Health Organization, otherwise known as SureMed. Hit me up via the email or phone number on the link. I'll tell you all about it. I can even enroll you over the phone during normal business hours. Next, thanks to our followers over on Twitch, twitch.tv/smashamash is where we regularly stream. Thanks to our new Twitter followers. Thanks for sharing our tweet last night. Scott McIntosh put out a tweet last night. We also put out tsunami warnings on our Twitter account. Yes, the Smash Team got them before USGS's alerts went out. We do send out email alerts via the Smash Team website, so you can even join at the bronze level there. It costs you $0 per month. Once again, thanks to our gold and silver subscribers. Thanks to our YouTube subscribers as well. If you're new to the channel, press like, press subscribe, press share, leave us a comment. Let us know how you found the content, and congratulations on doing so. That is, realizing that the content exists. You can also find our merch in links below the video and on the Smash Team homepage, the Smasho merch link. Today's featured product is our 3rd bestseller. Yes, the link will lead you to our products there in order of best-selling. Our bestseller there, over on the left, contains words that shall not be mentioned in a video meant for YouTube. So today's featured product is Make Earth Not Suck Again. Yes. Act local, think global, and make Earth not suck again. It's up to you, each of you, to do your part. I'm wearing the hat here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. Make Earth Not Suck Again. If you've noticed Earth's been sucking the past couple of years, pick up some merch and start a conversation. What can you do to make Earth not suck again? And if you think it's a political slogan, think again. I'm a pragmatist. Never been associated with a political party, never planned to be. My views are way too nuanced on anything to conform to any political party. Sorry, not having it. Or a planet that sucks. So Mensa, make Earth not suck again. Again, links below the video and on the homepage at smashomash.com. There's the Smasho merch link. There's the link to the Smash Team. And welcome to the Neo-Renaissance, where we cite facts and we laugh at frauds on the regs. Let's take a brief look at volcanoes. There is Piton de la Fournaise on the Isle of Réunion with some amazing lava fountaining there, and a great view of the sunrise at the same time. Subanose Jima also erupting, producing a 6,000-foot ash plume. New island has formed in the home reef of the Tonga Islands, now exploding, producing a 10,000-foot volcanic ash plume. 20,000-foot volcanic ash plume over central Mexico there from Popocatépetl. And in Ecuador, we've got two usual suspects, Sangay and Revenador. 21,000-foot ash plume over Sangay, 16,000-foot ash plume over Revenador. Please don't pole vault the caldera. 23,000-foot ash plume over Sabancaya in Peru, as it explodes as well. Flight level 230. Flight level 160 over Nevados de Chilean, as it explodes. It's a 16,000-foot ash plume. We've got about an 8,000-foot ash plume over Piton de la Fournaise, as some lava fountaining, some emission of gas and water vapor, an impending larger eruption there at Piton de la Fournaise on the Isle of Réunion. We had a large earthquake yesterday. Again, we sent out a tsunami warning email alert at smashomash.com/smashteam. So if you sign up, make sure you sign up for the email alerts. They show up generally faster than the USGS alerts do at smashomash.com/smashteam. So here's a location of it. It was just inland from the Mexican coast. It did cause some damage. There was at least one death reported, and there were indeed tsunamis reported on Mexico. So that's the location of that 7.6 magnitude quake. It came in at 18:05 Universal Time yesterday. And let's check the rest of the list here. And I would suspect plenty of foreshocks in that area. Some quakes south of Alaskan Peninsula there as well. A 5.8 at the Mid-Indian Ridge. Not the most common place for a quake there. Again, there's that 7.6. There was a 5.3 aftershock. A decent-sized quake here in the U.S. A 4.4 in Arizona. Let us know if you felt that quake. Not the most common place for an earthquake there. Vanuatu also had a 5.1. That came in early this morning at 4:22 Universal Time. As more aftershocks roll in at Mexico. Next, we've got some imagery from SDO. That's the last 48 hours in ionized helium. 304 angstroms, one of the many favorite wavelengths that people like to view. And let's get into some solar data here. 10.7 centimeter radio flux now at 128 solar flux units. And for you new viewers out there, the radio flux is a proportional data set to sunspot number. The radio flux emits from the upper chromosphere and lower corona. It's proportional to sunspot number. And there's the one-year chart to put that in context. So a little downtick in the radio flux. Despite large sunspots rising in the southeast, we can expect an uptick in this coming soon, assuming those sunspots remain intact. 128 is the 10.7 centimeter radio flux number. And check it out, some geomagnetic unrest forecasted here on the 22nd late in the day. I believe that's from a corona hole high-speed stream. We are also expecting a coronal mass ejection, a minor glancing blow type diffuse strike happening around this period as well. So we may see multiple signals there, not expecting anything major, although perhaps a KP5 as opposed to only a KP4. We'll have to see what happens. Let's take a look at the earthly geospace here for the past 4 hours. That's Earth's magnetic moment from space out to about 12 Earth diameters. If you want to read about where this model is derived, it's the Space Weather Modeling Framework. Click on the Details tab on the Geospace Magnetosphere movie, and you'll find a link to the Space Weather Modeling Framework there. You can download all the software that is used to determine this model. Here's Earth's magnetic moment from the ground, and we've actually seen some incredible aurora posted onto Twitter. Certainly some amazing ones from Norway. And by the way, we're going to go over cosmic rays in this video. Give you a little cosmic ray update. That's the last 4 hours of Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. Things pretty calm, geomagnetically speaking. The planetary K-index, a measurement of global geomagnetism, is at 1, KP1. Quite calm there, conditions from the KP index. We still do have a slightly elevated solar wind speed here at about, coming down now to about 450 kilometers per second. Solar wind density here nominal at 7.2 protons per cubic centimeter. Here are your GOES magnetometers over the past 3 days. And Earth has entered a South Pole current sheet. So taking a look at that next, here's the top view ecliptic plane field plot. And let's reload that. It looks like it's a little jacked. There we go. There's the top view ecliptic plane field plot, and Earth has just snapped into a South Pole current sheet there, which is kind of surprising considering the activity in the southern hemisphere. We'll have to see what happens there. There may be another North Pole current sheet snapping through here any moment. Plasma does orient to and block the sensing of magnetic fields. So anyway, Earth just snapped into a South Pole current sheet shown there in red. Next, the line of sight plot showing the sun's B field in blue. And again, don't be surprised to see a North Pole current sheet snap through here. But that's the current state of affairs. Solar polar fields shown in red and green. Solar B field shown in blue. Here is the line of sight coronal hole plot. And thanks for leaving a comment, Tinman 1057. A good morning to you as well. And let's take a look at coronal holes here from the perspective of the SDO. We've got coronal holes right in front of those new sunspot groups rising in the southeast. And let me pause on that for station identification. Thanks for tuning in to the Smash News Network, least busted name of news. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists despite the pathetic censorship on certain big tech platforms, which will remain unnamed. So, huge, well-defined coronal hole here right on the solar equator. Expecting a coronal hole high-speed stream from that late in the day on a Thursday. And let's move to sunspots. But first, cosmic rays. So we're going to go backwards through our normal coverage of cosmic rays here. First, DOMB Antarctica, which is mostly flat here over the past 30 days. Here's DOMC Antarctica, a similarly flat profile there over the past 30 days. Next, we'll look at Oulu, Finland. And there's Oulu, an uptick at Oulu over the past 30 days. So that's interesting, going from south to north. And let's go back down south to Mexico City. There's Mexico City, a minor uptick, mostly flat, a small uptick there at Mexico City's Cosmic Ray Observatory. And going a little farther north to Athens, Greece, an uptick there at Athens, Greece over the past 30. And let's go way back up north to Apatity and Barentsburg. So there's Apatity, an uptick at Apatity over the past 30 days. And also an uptick at Barentsburg. And we show these 7 monitors each time we show cosmic ray flux on the channel, because these are reliable cosmic ray monitors. They don't appear to be tainted by lousy, crappy, nonsensical looking data. But there you go. That's your cosmic ray update, and let's move to sunspots. And by the way, for you new viewers out there, cosmic ray flux is inversely proportional to sunspot number. So when we see high solar activity, overall on a long scale, we tend to see low cosmic ray flux. And when we see solar minima, we see high cosmic ray flux. The graphs of cosmic ray flux over history are inversely proportional to the graphs of sunspot activity. Speaking of sunspot activity, I think we're going to have 3 named groups here. So I believe we're going to have 3106 is going to be this group slightly north and west of this large 3105, and there's going to be 3107 behind that, I think. It looks like 3 sunspot groups at least. We'll show you high-res imagery of that toward the end of the video. Here's your SDO intensity gram. We're going to zoom in on the southern hemisphere because that's where all the action is at. And this sunspot group is significant. Also, it's been mostly stable over the past 24. Likelihood of large flares is actually dropping as these sunspots leave the limb, but the probability is still certainly there. There are quite large amounts of sunspots there, large umbrae and magnetic complexity. There's the GOES X-ray flux over the past 3 days, and things have been pretty calm here, despite so many large sunspot groups. Let's take a look at 94 angstroms next. Give that a minute to initialize. It's well worth it. We're also going to show you 131 angstroms. Don't be surprised to see an M-class flare in the coming days. Again, I do think it is a little bit less likely as a result of those sunspot groups leaving the limb, but there are additional sunspots trailing those sunspot groups, so we could have some significant activity here basically at any moment. And the reason we show 94 and 131 angstroms is because those are the best wavelengths to view solar flares. They take 10 images per minute instead of only 2. As far as relativistic particles, we see the GOES proton flux here slowly subsiding over the past 3 days. There were some minor spikes there, and we only see spikes there in the greater than or equal to 10 mega electron volt. No movement in the greater than or equal to 50 or greater than or equal to 100 mega electron volt proton fluxes. And I looked out the door this morning and there was a beautiful crescent moon up there. You've got Jupiter and Mars and the moon and Venus just rising over the horizon here in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Let us know your location in the comments. And can I please have control of my own browser? No, that's okay. I'll wait. Anyway, that's what's going on above our head in Lehigh Valley. That star chart from in-the-sky.org. Here's your solar system forecast. And it looks like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Jupiter are all going to be in a line, which is very scary, folks. It's very scary. Oh my God, look at this. It's going to be a line of planets and the sun. Dear God, go hide in your bunkers, buy some overpriced real estate in Colorado, and stock up on your prepping supplies. Oh my God, it's a bunch of planets in a line with the sun. Holy cripes. Oh dear God. Here's your solar system forecast. Just kidding, folks. The planets aren't going to kill you. And we've got to do a cosmology segment soon because I've got some stuff to talk about with respect to cosmology. Here's your 1-week forecast for the solar system. In a week, we will have a crescent waxing moon following the new moon and the energization of all of our reverse werewolves out there who sleep well at night, do not cannibalize people, and are generally good, happy, productive humans. Let's refresh that. Here's the George Mason University imagery. We do have some CMEs happening there. I do not believe those are earthly directed CMEs. One off there to the east, and another more minor one there off to the west, or you could say southwest. It might be on the opposite side of the sun. Not really sure because we don't have any data from Stereo A or from today. So we're going to show this from the Soho-Lascaux C2 and C3 alone. They're located here at Lagrange point 1. The gravitational equilibrium point about 1 million miles from Earth. And here are the images from the Soho-Lascaux C2 and C3. It does include most of today's imagery there. Things have been pretty calm here. Only some minor CMEs there. Again, we are expecting some geomagnetic unrest and or storm conditions late in the day universal time on Thursday. I don't think that ejecta is earthly directed, but again, Stereo A's data is ancient and not useful at the moment. Next to ground-based solar observatory, and we've got a lot less filaments than we had. Those dark features there are plasma filaments, reducing the likelihood of solar flare, coronal mass ejections a little bit. Not so many filaments at the moment on the earthly portion of the solar disk. That's the ground-based solar observatory at Lermonth, Australia. Next, the last about 2.5 hours of GOES 16 SUVI data. That is the 304 angstroms wavelength. You can see some good definition of this coronal hole leading sunspot 3105. Next, we're moving into our bonus features segment. Satellite charging hazards are non-existent at the moment. It's smooth sailing for our geosynchronous near-equatorial satellites. The GOES electron flux here kind of low as a coronal hole high-speed stream continues. And our forecast was right on yesterday. If you watched yesterday's space weather video, you may have noticed that I forecasted lower electron flux than NOAA, who's nailed the last 3 days, but they nailed 3 and then failed 1. That's the relativistic electron forecast model. Here's the 1-year graph to put it in context. Kind of low levels here as we typically see during coronal hole high-speed streams. Let's take a look at the F ionosphere there, which has been full of high-frequency anomalies for a solid week. Here's the vibrational frequency of the bridge between Earth and space. The F layer located at about 300 kilometers of altitude. Megahertz are millions of vibrations per second. We're going to show you the anomalygram as well. If you're not used to looking at the ionogram, well, here's the anomalygram. And if you're wondering what's going on over here around northern South America, that's the South Atlantic anomaly somewhere around that X, which is the weakest point in Earth's magnetosphere. And it's called the South Atlantic anomaly for a reason. So you will tend to see ionospheric anomalies in that area. That's, quote, normal, end quote. Also a weak spot down here by South Africa. But that's your anomalygram showing low-frequency anomalies in blue, low-frequency anomalies in red, high-frequency anomalies in blue. It's the anomaly from the 30-day median. There's the latest image, 10 o'clock universal time. And we're also going to show the total electron content forecast. It'll show you the most likely places for GPS errors because the electron count between your GPS satellite and your GPS handset can massively refract the signal, producing GPS errors of thousands of miles. And here is the total electron content forecast. I'm just going to refresh that real quick just to make sure we've got the latest data, and indeed we do. That is now filling in here after a couple days of being down. And since I like the North American total electron content model, here it is, total electron content for North America. And those red dots are position error detecting stations. They use their GPS at those locations to determine how much of an error is happening, because they know where they're located. And they help to show us a little higher resolution imagery. So here's the standard deviation. And here's the anomaly. So let us know in the comments if you'd like us to keep this section in the video. I kind of like it. It does show a little higher resolution with this zoom in over North America, but let us know what you think, because we care about your opinion. And we do read all comments, even if we don't respond to every comment. So I want to show you this series of sunspots here. This is quite interesting. There is another group rising here, so I think there are 3 sunspot groups. This is 3105. I think this is going to be 3106, and this is going to be 3107. So that's a huge uptick there in solar activity. There are the fields. They are all beta gamma class. Well, these first 2 are certainly beta gamma class sunspot groups. There's no doubt about that. This group in the southern hemisphere also beta gamma class. There are the fields. It's mostly stable here over the past 24. And these groups down here could create some solar flares as they set. Is that a new sunspot group? Is that an old sunspot group? I don't know. I lost track. And we're going to bring up one more series of images here. How about 304, 211, and 171 angstroms? As we move from our bonus features segment to our meteorology segment, and we just show the most detailed imagery anywhere of the sun and the most comprehensive space weather you'll find any place. Here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. So now when we get to meteorology, we're going to be looking at, to start, wave height. So here we go. Here is the Western Atlantic. And we do indeed have some 27-foot waves there around this hurricane, which is about to increase in intensity. So it's good that we didn't see it increase in intensity before it struck these islands. But now it's going to move off to the north. But first, the northwest. It's going to kind of track like this and skim across those islands there, Turks and Caicos. And we'll show you some forecasts for the storm track here momentarily. But first, the winds of the eastern world. So there are the surface winds. Here are the jet streams, which is the 250 hectopascals wind signal, by the way, if you're wondering. Jet stream blowing backward over the western Pacific and the Indian Ocean, and a huge anticyclone here. That's an upper level high. In the northern Pacific, you can see this clockwise rotation, as you do for anticyclones in the northern hemisphere. Here are the jet streams of the Americas. High pressure over northwestern Mexico showing up there as well with that clockwise rotation. And some backward jet stream here over the eastern Pacific. Here are the surface winds of this side of the planet. Surface winds of the central world. That's the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. And here are the jet streams of this side of the planet. Shout out to our viewers from all around the world. Greetings, Earthlings, and the rest of you. Thanks for tuning in. Here's your weather.gov map. If your county is lit up on weather.gov, click your county. Some flooding here forecasted right in the center of the Four Corners region. Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. All seeing some flood watches there. Also some flood watches there around Eastern California. Northeastern California, whatever you want to call it, East Central California, and some around Alaska as well. Now let's show some forecasts. This is the GFS total accumulated precipitation forecast, and expecting some heavy rains there, especially in southwestern Colorado and northern New Mexico. So that's looking like four inches of rain there or so. And you can see the storm track there for that hurricane. As it turns to the north, it's expected to brush past Bermuda to Bermuda's west. That's a GFS 72-hour total accumulated precipitation forecast. Rain totals shown here in inches. Here is the GFS model for the Western Atlantic. That's the Western Atlantic there. That is 10-meter wind and pressure in millibars. So you can see the pressure dropping there, going from about 980 millibars down to about 946 millibars. That is a significant increase in that storm's intensity. So there's warm water up there. It's going to miss the cold water and hit the warm water, and that's going to allow it to indeed convect and indeed increase in size and wind speed and so on. Expecting some killer surf at Bermuda. That's your 72-hour wind and pressure forecast based on the GFS model. Some big waves coming to the Atlantic. So let's just show the Euro model. We're going to, well, let's stay at that zoom. That's a good zoom level. Here's the Euro model for pressure. We're going to advance this 3 days also. Here's where the Euro model has it in 3 days. And expecting a similar pressure there. 947 or so. There are going to be a lot of big waves in the Atlantic Ocean. Continuing on to our lightning mapper here from the NASA GOES satellite. Here's your NASA GOES lightning mapper. And let's take a look at a real-time lightning map as we've got some strong storms here moving across northern Wisconsin. Yes. Green Bay, you're in the crosshairs. Yowzers. Some serious thunder rolling in there in portions of Wisconsin. So expecting some stormy conditions there in Lake Michigan this morning. Here's how that system's moving. It's got some likely severe thunderstorms there. Could be some damaging wind and hail. Hopefully no tornadoes, but there's lots of red there on the map. Remember, folks, the most dangerous spot is the northwestern corner of a storm like that. That's the storm track. And let's zoom out here briefly to show all 50. Precipitation looks like it's mopping up there in southern Alaska. We're going to focus on the lower 48. Here is a shortwave radiation map showing clouds and fog. And let's briefly zoom in here. That's what's going on there. And there's warm water to the north. And here is the water vapor map. Well, clear skies over most of the southern U.S. It's a huge high pressure zone. Check it out. That's dry, massive air dominating the southern portion of the United States. Mostly clear skies. And here's your recap. U.S. Doppler radar showing vertical motion of water droplets from ground-based Doppler radar systems. Shortwave radiation at 3.9 nanometers from the NASA GOES Interactive Weather Satellite Suite. Rapid cloud nucleation over Wisconsin. And there is the water vapor map. You can see a lot of water vapor appearing there. That is caused by evaporation. And it's about time to close out this video. Thanks for leaving a comment, Acrylic D. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Congratulations once again on realizing the channel exists. Don't forget to make Earth not suck again. And may that solar wind be at your back.